I want to thank several of my subscribers. Many of you sent me this story, and I want to thank each and every one of you that sent it. This came out in CNN, August 8th, 2019. 680 undocumented workers arrested in record setting immigration sweep on the first day of school. I'm going to go ahead and play this CNN video for you.
New fears in immigrant communities this morning after huge ICE raids in several Mississippi cities. Federal immigration authorities, they arrested nearly 700 undocumented immigrants in one day. In one case, an 11-year-old girl was pleading with officers after her mother was taken into custody. CNN's Diane Gallagher live in Morton, Mississippi, where that encounter took place. Diane, what can you tell us?
Yeah, John, that little girl wasn't the only one. These raids took place on the first day of school here in Morton, Mississippi, and in the Jackson area, leaving several children without parents when they got home. Neighbors stepped in, took those kids in after what the U.S. Attorney called the single largest ICE raid in a state in the nation's history. 680 people were rounded up at workplaces, these processing plants, much like where I am here. This is Cook Foods in Morton, loaded onto buses and taken to a processing area that had been set up in an airplane hangar by the National Guard unit area there. Now, a senior immigration official tells CNN that they'd been using informants to determine what managers and owners knew. They were hiring undocumented workers. When the U.S. Attorney and ICE were asked about owners and managers who had been arrested, perhaps because of this, they said this was an ongoing criminal investigation. But this really rocked the community. I want you to listen to this little girl pleading with an ICE official to let her see her mother as they loaded her onto a bus.
Allá está, ¿verdad? ¿Verdad que ya es? Allá está Cintia. ¿Verdad que ya es, mami? Ella es, no llores, mami.
Please, can I just see my mother, please?
Please.
And just really here in the community, there is a little bit of confusion because as far as most of these people know, these individuals were just working. These were raids of workplace. These were not necessarily individuals who had criminal histories. And there's just talk of this sort of tone-deaf nature, Erica. This happened just before the president touched down in El Paso. He was supposed to be there to comfort people who were grieving because of a white supremacist who had posted a racist screed online talking about a Hispanic invasion and then killed 22 people in El Paso, most of them Latinos. So here in Mississippi, there is discussion about sort of what they called almost a victory lap that the U.S. Attorney was taking, bragging about just how many people were detained. Most of those people who had children, Erica, were released. We are told that they have been united, some of them with their children, but there are still so many others, again, almost 700 people who were detained yesterday.
Yeah. Okay, let me see if I can.
Equinox owner.
Yeah, so looked like this took place in Mississippi. So it looked like they just found places of employment where there were, several hundred of these immigrants working. So, wow. So this happened at a plant in Morton, Mississippi on Thursday morning, hoping authorities would release their loved ones. Many had been by later in the afternoon. Footage, you saw a child crying for her mom. In Forest, Mississippi, strangers and neighbors volunteered to take the children. Nowhere to go after the parents were detained at a local gym for the night, according to CNN affiliate WJTV. Volunteers distributed donated food, drinks, but according to WJTV, most children sobbed rather than ate. I need my dad. He's not a criminal. One girl cried as she spoke with the network outside the gym. I understand the law and how everything works and how everything has a system, but Everyone needs to hold their kids first and foremost in their minds, gym owner Jordan Barnes told WJTV. Well, you know, you crossed into the land illegally. You should have known there was a chance you may be deported back. That's not far fetched for you to understand that. All right, y'all. So, hours later, all the kids had been reunited with family members, Barn told CNN, and the gym was set to resume normal operations. But a parking lot near the plant in Morton was packed with people Thursday who said their lives were frozen as they waited for news. Hours had passed since the time when they thought more busloads of immigrants released from custody would be coming over and over. They asked for the time and worried with each passing hour that their loved ones were headed to immigration detention centers instead of coming home. It's exhausting, really. I couldn't even hold back the tears, and I don't really cry. All right, well, so, people are stepping up to the plate to try to help these children. So they're now saying it's definitely a ghost town. It's so empty. We've never seen Morton or Forest or any other surrounding areas look so empty during the day. She said it's horrible. And I honestly don't think these communities will make it without them. So, yeah, I mean, even around here in my state, there are locations where it's a heavy amount of immigrants. It's just not around me. And yeah, I mean, that happens. I'm sure there's many places like that around the country. Authorities hailed the sweep at food processing plants in 6 cities as a record-setting operation. At least 680 undocumented immigrants were detained. More than 300 of them had been released by Thursday. Brian D. Cox, an ICE spokesman, said in a statement, 18 juveniles were found working at the plants, according to Jars Miles, a special agent charged with the Homeland Security, Department of Homeland Security. 9 were released or not taken for processing, Miles said. One was a 14-year-old. He said, well, I'm not surprised that they had underage teenagers working at the plant. Look, if you got illegals there, there's a great chance you got people that are underage there. That's not shocking in my opinion. I don't understand why that's so surprising. And to me, what is the point in arresting people and you're going to let a portion of them go back out here, I don't know. That just seems kind of counterproductive because according to this, they release people. Today, through the hard work of these men and women, we were once again becoming a nation of laws. U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Minnesota, Mike Hurst, said as he announced the arrest Wednesday. Immigrant rights advocates, religious leaders, and local officials sharply criticized the raids, noting that a number of children returned to empty homes after the arrest, which occurred on the first day of school. Our brothers and sisters and fellow citizens, 6 years old, 5 years old, 7 years old, 11 years old, they left to go to school yesterday excited about education, and terror hit them while they were gone, said the Reverend James Evans, a co-founder of Mississippi Immigrant Rights Allegiance. Yeah, I wonder who, James Evans, okay. At a press conference denouncing the raids, Evans and other leaders urged Mississippi residents to stand together and support each other. Advocates shared a hotline for anyone directly impacted by the raids. Wow. They set up more for them than us. You know, where's our hotline to call in if we are directly affected by these damn cops out here? There's no hotline for us to call, but they sure got everything in place for these immigrants, y'all. So all I can say is these probably will be happening more often in the near future. You'll see more people going through these raids. And, you know, they attempted to do it in my state, but they told the immigrants not to open the door for ICE and not to really answer their questions. And they did it, and they did not have to leave. So we shall see, y'all. But look like they are still attempting to round these people up and get them out of here. And in many cases, they will. But this did not go the way I thought it was. You know, yeah, they rounded people up, but in the article, they let many of them go. Then what is the purpose of ICE? But please tell me what you think, ladies and gentlemen. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.